the fuck is that guy?
I make my own moves, yeah, I'm bossing.
All weak bitches, please proceed to the exit.
Is there no one else? Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
We are not for the weak.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Not for the Week. It's your boy James.
It is your boy Jay.
And it's Wes.
Fuck Boy Fitness.
Boy Fitness.
This episode is brought to you by Blast House. Blast House Industries. The best fucking supplement company in the world.
Yes.
Dropping end of the month. So stay tuned for that. Blasthouse.com. Sign up for all your email list needs. And we'll let you guys know when it's actually dropping. But it's actually coming up, guys. Blast House is launching in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, we sell Trend too, so.
We do not sell Trend.
All right.
No, we don't. Blast House is not endorsed by Fuckboy Fitness.
All right. Yeah. You know, you try to do nice things for people.
Try to get us shut down. Yeah. Whoa, I heard they sell Trend on that website.
Dude, I'm going to fucking Steve will do it like Bradley Martin you. Like, oh yeah, he sells me drugs. Like, it's James sells me drugs.
He sells me the special edition of Blast House that has drugs in it.
Yeah, it's the black edition.
I'm going to have to edit all of this out because this is terrible marketing right here.
Nah, leave it.
What's up, Wes?
Just bankrupting the company already, Wes. No, but Blast House is going to be dope. Pre-workout and protein's going to drop at the end of the month. I'm stoked for it.
Yeah.
So if you guys haven't already, go to blasthouse.com, sign up for the email list, or sign up or follow the social media Blast House IND. And yeah, Jeremy, move the mic away. I can hear you breathing through your nose.
I don't even think I even was breathing at all.
You too, Wes. You guys are too fucking close. Wes, god damn it.
Okay.
Your big ass nose, man.
I know.
Breathing
Remember,
in the fucking mic.
if you ain't blast, you're last.
Yeah. T-shirt.
Mooney's like, God, is my company a joke to you?
T-shirt
guys?
idea. No, Blast
Both
House.
of you fuckers are getting nothing.
Oh, you fucking dude, you fucking want us on the squad. We're the fucking shit.
Between that and then someone's like, get blasted. I was like, no.
Yep.
No.
Finger Blast 2020.
That actually will be your code, I think. Mm-hmm. But there you go. But we're not gonna post about you ever.
You know,
The athlete no one knows about.
It's all
Wesley.
love.
Wesley, fuckboy fitness Hamilton.
the unspoken athlete. Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be like an urban legend.
Have you heard of that? Like Wesley? That
Have you heard of that fuckboy fitness guy?
Legend has it.
I
Blast House has an athlete named Wesley Hamilton, but no one's ever seen or heard of him before.
Legend has.
We can't even find his account. Like every time we link to you, we'll tag the other fuckboy fitness, the guy that has the legitimate fuckboy fitness.
He's been shadow banned for 3 years. Yeah, I heard he like lives in a cave somewhere. He just drinks Tito's.
I legitimately think I am shadow banned at this point.
I think
Still?
Yeah.
It's-
Well, I think I did get shadow banned because my shit has dropped tremendously, and so
You
I
know what?
deleted all the extra apps I have, like the when to post, the
You
who
can't
follows
do,
you.
You
and
can't
who
do
I
any
follow.
third-party stuff.
Yeah,
now
like who
with Instagram.
follows you. I deleted that all, and I'm taking a hiatus. I'm not going to post anything on my story for the next week, and we'll see what fucking happens.
Really?
Yeah.
Even on the story?
No, I'm going to post on my story, actually.
Oh, okay,
Not on my
just not on
timeline.
the
I meant on
timeline.
my timeline.
Okay.
But yeah. Anyway, new episode. Welcome. We actually got Jeremy back. He's
Yeah, I'm
still
back.
alive.
I'm still alive.
Even
I've
though-
just been really busy with work, so podcast times haven't worked out.
Yeah.
So you guys have been blessed with my absence.
Nah, he's just a hard-working man.
People have been stoked that you haven't been here.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
The word on the street is like, who's that Jeremy guy?
Yeah, and,
No, but he's back.
I'm back, you guys. So sorry to break the bad news to you.
So get used to it, fuckers.
Get used to it, bats.
But yeah. And we actually have a guest. We're actually sticking with our 2020 or 2019, end of 2019, like going into 2020 goals of actually having a guest on a consistent basis. The last couple weeks we've been no-showed by our guest, which has kind of thrown off our ratio. But every other week we're trying to have a guest. Accountability. People just don't take this shit seriously. When we book a guest, people are like, oh, they're just fucking around. No, this is a movement, yo.
Have respect
This
for
is
people's time.
This is a movement, And
I got up at 7:30 today.
Yeah, but you know what? You did it for a reason because we got our boy Dean, our 2019 guest of the year,
The 2019 champ.
the 29. He's defending his fucking belt.
Yeah.
Really good episode.
It's a good episode. We got him on. We talk about social media. We talk about his the supplement company he works with, marketing, branding, how he
Using children for clout.
using children for clout, how he monitors his daughter's social media because kids are weird nowadays.
And being a good person.
Brad
Yeah.
Castleberry's weird.
Oh, dude.
You know?
We should get him on the show and ask him. You know how Tosh.0
so
does
weird.
web redemptions?
No.
We should do podcasts. We should do
Picture redemptions.
Pick
Picture-
redemptions.
yeah.
What were you thinking when you posted this bullshit?
With your nuts next to your
That's going to be
son's head.
so many of Wes's photos, though.
We pick 5. Yeah. We pick 5. We pick 5 pictures just for mine, and we're just like, so what were you thinking here?
What was going through your head when you wrote this caption? I'm a motherfucking star boy.
He's like, I am a star boy.
I got one right here. I'm just trying to swim in something wetter than the ocean.
There you go.
You can imagine what I was probably thinking about when I posted that.
You were thinking about Tito's.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm trying to swim in Tito's.
I'm trying to swim in a bottle of Tito's.
Anyway,
He swims in it too. He drowns more so than swims.
we're gonna. I feel like we're gonna have a lot of Tito's in a couple weeks here. Wes.
I think so. Might as well. We got 5 days, right?
Well, and I was listening to Robert Frank. He was talking about how they're actually going out on Friday night.
Hey.
I don't really want to go out on Friday night, but we might have to make an appearance just to say what's up to him and the squad.
Let's do it. I want to meet Robert.
Anyway, but yeah, we got a guest this today. It's our boy Dean. And enough of the bullshit. Let's get into the episode.
I'll Scott out.
So what's going on, man? How are things?
Good, man. Busy as hell. It's been I'm real busy with my work, my actual business, my appraisal company, but then super busy with all the stuff getting ready for the Arnold and all that with Axe and Sledge.
Yeah, dude. It looks like you're doing a lot more with Axe and Sledge since the last time we talked to you.
Yeah, dude. They well, they're like, so I'm in Florida, obviously, and they're up in Pittsburgh. But I mean, they will fly me up all the time to do stuff. And so I guess it was a week ago or 2 weeks ago or whatever, they flew me up for 4 days. And then it was like 3 days kind of, because I got there on a Sunday and obviously couldn't do shit. But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I flew back Wednesday night. And I think I shot, in those 3 days, 11 videos.
Oh, wow.
Shit.
Like 11 videos total. And I think there was 5 workout videos in 3 days.
Jeez.
It went, super busy. So, but yeah, man, they're taking care of me big time. It's awesome.
That's awesome, man. Obviously, you're doing a lot of stuff for them. That's why they're taking care of you. You know, you're obviously proving helpful and useful. I'm sure. The brand looks like it's doing pretty fucking good too. I see it everywhere now.
Yeah, they're growing. It's growing like crazy between the Axe and Sledge line, then plus obviously with the All American Roughneck stuff is blown up. They they just had a release Thursday night, the All American Roughneck, and I talked to Seth and Bobby, and they said Thursday nights literally the numbers literally shit all over Black Friday, even like doubled Black Friday's numbers.
Wow.
Damn, man,
That's fucking sick.
that's huge because most companies obviously live and die on Black Friday, and so
Oh yeah, I mean, Black Friday is usually the biggest day of the year for most companies. So for this just a normal another release to like double those numbers was crazy.
wild. That's wild, man. What do you think? What do you attribute all that to? Like the success of that so far?
I think it all rides with Seth, really. I mean, I think
he obviously Seth's like the face.
yeah. I think people are just attracted to the message. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know how familiar you are with it all, but I mean, Seth, what he preaches and what that whole brand is about really is just the blue collar worker, fucking hardworking guy in America, guys and girls, but just the everyday. I'm wearing the HWMF shirt now that he always talks about, just hardworking motherfucker. I mean, that's his whole slogan. Yeah. So I think people just are attracted to that. And it I guess, pertains to like just everybody that's out there just making a living, busting their ass, no matter what line of work they're in. So I think it just relates to a lot of people, and people love the message. And a lot of the shirts and a lot of the designs are just catered towards that stuff. Kind of like the backbone of America, I guess. I mean, so like a lot of the shirts and a lot of the slogans, I mean, people are just loving, and shit sells out like immediately.
Yeah, there seems to be like a shift kind of in the fitness industry away from like obviously all those like aesthetic brands like the Gymsharks, and like those are all gonna be successful, but it feels like almost like that blue collar average guy kind of thing, like everyday man kind of thing is taking hold. Like you start seeing a lot more companies like that now.
Yeah, definitely, because like this, like Gymshark or like Alpha Elite, and like all those brands that we know of that are super popular and super successful. I think, I mean, and I have some of all that clothes. It's like most of that stuff, though, at least for me, anyways, I got to be like shredded to wear it, right?
Yeah.
It fits kind of like I don't want to say younger, but I mean it kind of fits to people that are like super lean and ripped, and it's just the way it fits, which is nothing wrong with that. But I mean, it kind of caters towards that type of person. Right. Like I have a whole drawer full of Gymshark shit, but I can't wear it unless I'm like 8% body fat. You know what I mean?
That's contest prep wear right there.
Yep.
It really is, because if you have like some love handles and back fat, like dude, I'm not wearing that shit to the gym or out. I mean, you can see that shit. So with this brand, like you said, I mean, it just, it's mostly t-shirts and the hoodies and the pump covers and shit like that. And it just caters towards everyday. You don't even have to go to the gym to like wear this stuff and get the message across, which is cool.
Yeah. No, Seth seems like a pretty real dude too. I think we were talking about that the last time you were on. Like he's almost like the new Rich Piana kind of, like filling that void of, not necessarily comparing him to Rich, but like keeping it real, and like he just, a lot of people can relate to him and look up to him.
Yeah, so like the last time we were on, that was what you had asked me. I think we talked about that. Like, what are some of the similarities and some of the differences? And then, so I was just, they started their podcast a couple weeks back or whatever. So I don't know if you saw, they had me on there when I was just up there. I was the first guest on there, and he brought that up. So, in talking about me, Rich or Seth said, for those that don't know, he mentioned I started with Rich pretty much in my fitness venture, and that's what he asked. He said that he hears himself that he gets compared to Rich a lot, and he said, I'm sure there's some differences and similarities. So he said, why don't you answer the people and my opinion, and basically what we talked about last time. I mean, I think it's just like you said, he's the guy. I think everybody liked Rich because you were with 5% too. Like Rich kind of said and did whatever the fuck he wanted. He didn't give a shit what anybody said, whether. Yeah, he just didn't care. So it's like, and people in the industry, you have tons and tons of people that love the guy. Then you have people that hated on him. You have people that maybe didn't like him but respected his work ethic and what he was doing in the industry. The guy definitely like paved the way for what a lot of people are doing. But I think that's same thing, that so many people were attracted to Rich because just what we said, like he didn't really give a shit. He just said and did what he wanted. And that I think is probably the biggest thing for me that I see in Seth is the same thing. Like he doesn't really give a shit what people say or think or whatever. He just does him and does whatever he wants to do.
Yeah. I think like companies like that are really cool because you don't have to really kind of like, I feel like one thing that I'll say like about, like Gymshark athletes and stuff like that is I feel like they're kind of all like a certain way on Instagram and like social media and stuff like that, or like, I don't know if they feel like they have to be, but like, I don't know, like almost like a certain way that the company wants them to look or maybe like kind of have their profiles. But I felt like with like Rich, like exactly like what you just said, like just do whatever the fuck you want to do. Obviously people are going to, market for the company and stuff like that and post shit about 5%. But like I don't think he was like really strict on that. He was kind of just like, no, just post whatever the fuck you want. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. Like you can still be you, Yeah. Like, and that's really cool. And that's like what I was going to say. Like, that's why I like Seth a lot. He just keeps it real, dude. He's just a real ass. I've never heard anybody like ever say like that they didn't have some kind of respect or didn't like Seth. Like he's, just,
I thought it was cool, that little snippet on his podcast that you were in, Dean, where he's talking about you and your character and how much he likes you. I was like, dude, that's cool, dude. Talking about how like genuine you are and you just always have been that way and never switched up or anything like that.
Yeah, so like when I came on with them, it's actually it'll be just about a year because I met with them last year when I was at the Arnold. I went and spoke with Mike for like a half hour, he's one of the owners with Seth, and then I actually I left. I was with Cass Martin and her brand. I left like a week basically after the Arnold, and I came over to Axe and Sledge. So it's been we're coming up on the Arnold now, so it's been about a year. But they flew me up there, within like a couple of weeks. And the very, very first time I was up there, I sat in a meeting with Seth and the owners there. And that's kind of what he said. He was like, he's like, the thing that I like is what you do online. You're not really, he's like, you work with different companies, but you're really just being yourself. You're not always just pushing discount codes and trying to sell shit and trying to pitch shit to people.
yeah.
And they brought it up again on that podcast I just did with them. They're like, the whole box opening thing you always do and just showing people what you do every day. He's like, that's kind of what Seth had said himself, and what kind of attracted him to me and liking me and wanting me to come on with them is just doing what I do on like a normal basis. I show my kids, I show family, I fuck around. I'm kind of an idiot, and I don't try to really be or try to sell people. I'll throw my code out here and there or whatever, but for the most part, I don't try to pitch really my codes on anything. I'll put it in some of my Instagram stories and stuff like that, but I just show people, I think, on an everyday basis of me like using the products that I use and representing the companies that I do. And if half the time people will shoot me a DM and be like, "Hey, I'm looking at buying this. Do you have a code?"
Right.
Most of my codes are in my bio on Instagram, but still they may not look or may not know. They'll just shoot me a DM and say, "I want to buy this. Do you have a code?" And I think that just comes across better instead of always, because there are a lot of people that it's just like shoving codes down your throat nonstop, and it's just, I think that's kind of a turnoff for a lot of people as well.
Oh, it's huge, dude. It's like I was actually just talking with somebody that the other day. It's like if you're always just pushing a code and pushing an agenda, people turn that shit off, and they stop resonating with it, and it stops losing its meaning. Like, because then they assume that you're just doing it for some monetary gain or some other reason besides you actually enjoy the product.
Right.
Yeah. Well, real quick too. So like we have two Facebook groups that I pretty much help run, and one of them is like just an open. You still gotta like apply to get in or whatever, but we let people in. And it's just like an open Axe and Sledge group on Facebook. And it has, I don't know how many, like 24,000 people. And then we have a private demo crew one, which is just for like our ambassador people. And that's obviously way much, much smaller. But in the Axe and Sledge group, we'll have people sometimes that will ask a question. So not everybody in there, a lot of people are in there. They might not even use Axe and Sledge products, but they just like Seth, right? Yeah. So they're in the group, or they just, how Facebook is. People just want to be in groups and bullshit and talk, whatever. It's like a fitness group. So sometimes, obviously all like the demo crew members are also part of the Axe and Sledge group as well. So they all have discount codes. And what happens a lot, just what we're talking about, is like somebody that may not have used a product will ask a question like, "Hey, I'm looking at buying hydraulic, or what's your opinion, or what's the best flavor, dude?" And you'll get like 5 or 6 guys that are like, they won't even answer the question. They'll be like, "Hey man, if you need a code, here it is, or whatever, save 10%."
Jeez.
Yeah. And I look at that, and I talked to Seth about that when I was just up there. I'm like, you just have to. I'm like, they don't even actually address like the question this person may have had, or they just throw their code out. And they don't even answer anything I asked. I'm like, so you get that a lot online. But like you said, James, it comes off, I think, very like unauthentic, because it looks like you're 100% out to just make money from this person instead of actually giving a shit and helping the person or answering the question they might have about whatever the product. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially with like the way that like algorithm is nowadays. Like, you can tell like people don't engage with that shit. Like if you're just posting a product like an ad, like people don't give a fuck anymore. Like that'll get 0 likes, you'll get 0 comments, and your post will disappear. You know?
Oh yeah, dude. I see it myself. Like if I put a picture of me, and whatever the context might be, but it's like a picture of me or it's like a gym video or whatever, dude. The likes and comments are literally 4 to 5 times as much as if, say, like, you know, I work with Herbstrong with the CBD company. Like every now and then I'll just put like a product up there.
Right.
Or if I just post a product only and say, even if I'm saying like they're doing a 20% off sale for the weekend, dude, it gets like a quarter of like the normal engagement. Because like you said, I think people are just like, oh, it's just a fucking
they just
product.
write it off.
Sales pitch, and that's how they see it, you know, which I understand. It's like,
Oh, I'm the same way. If I see a sales pitch, I'm scrolling right past that, so I don't blame them. But I see the same thing. If I even try to make it look like it's just an ad or something, nobody gives a fuck.
yeah, big time.
Yeah, those posts never get any likes at all. Like just from anyone though. Like I mean, Kai fucking Green will post like, you know, some shit like that, and it'll get like, if you look at his ratio, it gets like no engagement at all, like none. Like, you know, people, and I think about it too when I'm scrolling on Instagram, I see something like that, I just swipe right past that shit. You know what I mean? I just get no, like I don't even get, like it doesn't zone me in at all. I'm like, nah. Like I'm just, you know, I'm like, I like you, I follow you, but like I'm like, nah. Like I'll just keep going.
That's like, yeah, that's just how it goes, man. Even when I was like with Gunsmith, anytime I actually did like a specific post that had to do with a sale or anything like that, it would always get less likes, less comments than if I just posted a random picture of me doing something, a random video, and then in the caption have like something at the end.
Yeah, you got to find different ways to, you know, market it. And like you were saying, it's like you're actually using the product and showing that's like how you have to market nowadays. Or like what I like about you guys now with the Axe and Sledge stuff is all the videos you guys are doing. Like you guys are doing like, you know, like almost skits and you're doing the workout videos. Obviously the skit with the brown rice, your t-shirt.
Yeah, dude. Those are my favorite things to do, is that like just the complete spoof videos and fucking around. Like I love that shit. And they get huge responses too, man.
Yeah, well, people like that. You know what I'm saying? And then the story shit too. Like you actually using the product, or people actually physically seeing, you know, your day-to-day life and stuff like that too. Like that's gonna get such like a way better response. Like there's a few influencers like that I follow like that do that. Like they don't really post, but they like on their actual page. I mean, but on their stories, it's always like they post like their entire day, like of what they're doing and using these products. And like they don't even really throw out codes and something. Like people know what their codes are, but like they don't really throw out codes. They're just like, yep, you know, just woke up, just taking my fat burner, blah blah blah, just the same shit every day. So people know that they're like, okay, he uses this, he looks good. You know, he looks good, he uses this, he's cool. He's not really pushing it on me. He's just kind of telling me what he does. Like that gets a way better response, I feel like. And people actually play that shit back. And he makes hella sales. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, you know, and it's so with that being said, it's like, yeah, he's making money, he's doing it right, but he's not like a pusher, you know? Yeah. Like,
yeah, it's just like we said. I think when people are just pushing nonstop, it like, you know, it's like anything. It's like people don't want, no matter what it is, like people don't want shit jammed down their throat. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like,
and then doing funny shit, like doing skits and stuff too. Like that's just like, I don't know. Like people are just that's gonna get like a lot of responses too. Like,
yeah. So like we did, like the shirt. You saw the shirt that Axel Sledge made for me, James.
That was rad. I was stoked. I was like, oh man. Like I thought it was a joke at first. I didn't think they actually made it, but it was sick.
Yeah. So that whole thing started with, I think it was October. I was up there and we just did like a stupid video, like an interview. I don't know if you saw that, but. Yeah, so Carly, who works up at like headquarters and does a lot of stuff with the demo crew, and it just was like out of nowhere. We were kind of like, let's just do a stupid video, and we kind of, those questions were kind of like questions we see a lot, like in the Action Sledge Facebook group. Like a lot of people were asking, like, you know, what's better, brown rice or white rice? And then like people see Seth always eating gummy bears, and he'll drop like a couple gummy bears in his pre-workout. And like people have literally asked, what do the gummy bears do to the pre-workout? Like, and even though Seth has addressed that on like numerous videos, Seth's like, they don't do anything. Like Seth's like, they're terrible. But it sounds like I just like eating them. There's no nutritional value, so that's why like we went through those questions. And me, I always fuck with like keto and vegan shit and just make fun of stuff. But so I did that whole interview, and I said the brown to white, you have to have a 71 to 29 brown to white ratio, and I said I do keto because I love carbs, and keto is all carbs. So it's like everything was just the wrong, opposite answers basically.
Yeah.
But then like a couple months into it, people started saying stuff about I don't know if the video like resurfaced, but like that whole 71-29 thing, people started saying we need a shirt, and I think it started in the Facebook groups, and then Seth and Mike actually called me one day on speakerphone, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna do a shirt." I was like, "Sweet, dude." So they did that shirt, and so it was pretty cool to have like even though it's just a complete dumb spoof video that made the shirt, but
hey, if people fuck with that message and enjoyed the video, then why not?
Oh yeah, dude. But I love that shit, dude. Like that, just like we're saying, some of those skits and just being an idiot, and like some of the shit I do, like the cookies and shit now, it's hilarious.
Dude, I was just actually thinking like all the shirts that you put out, like. Is that are they ever gonna just do like a Dean line? They should, man. Just
I don't know.
Incorporate it in, man.
Those shirts have been that was another thing. Like when I originally started that, the very first shirt I did was that diet starts tomorrow with the donut,
and that caught on huge. I remember.
Yeah, like I've sold tons of those. And like that was the same thing. I mean, it started as a joke because me and another guy kept posting so much shitty food in our stories, and we just started doing like hashtag diet starts tomorrow. And then I was like, dude, I'm going to make a shirt that says that. And we did that. And then it just kind of, every now and then I've just dropped other shirts, and like the cookie pump shirt and just different ones, but they've sold pretty well. Like some of those shirts.
Yeah. Nice little side business there.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll ever get to the point where, you'll want to do the Axe and Sledge, stuff full time and like leave your other business, like the way it's growing?
Well, I don't know that I ever would. I don't know that I ever could really. Yeah. Like I'm making money with them and all that, but I don't know because I own my appraisal business. Right. I've been doing that for like 16 years or 17 years almost. Yeah. So. And that's really like my main, obviously, income. So I would love to. I mean, I don't know that they would never be able to, or I probably could never transition into replacing that income though. Right. But I would love to though, dude. I'd love to leave that and do something with supplements or in this industry and do that full time. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would. Yeah, it's tough though. I could see that. Yeah, but you never know, man. Could get fucking big time.
Yeah, I wish.
How's everything going with you? You got any shows coming up? I know last time we talked to you, you were getting ready for a show. Yeah,
when we did that last podcast, well, I think I was like 4 or 5 weeks out, 6 weeks out,
you
like that.
Were close.
Yeah, I don't have anything scheduled, man. I don't even know that I'll do any this year, to be honest.
It's a time commitment.
Yeah. And my shoulder's been really jacked up. I keep going to getting treatment on it. I've been to 2 different places, and like, because I've had shoulder surgery on both shoulders for labrum tears. Mm-hmm. But now like I've gone to 2 different guys, and they both like where the pain is and all the tests they run me through. They keep telling me it's rotator cuff, which is even worse. So, but it's like it like comes and goes. So I don't know if there's anything torn, or I don't know if there's just like a small tear, or if it's just I keep like tweaking it or something, because it'll go away for like a few days, and then like I'll do something, whether I'm benching or doing shoulder press, and then it comes back, and then I have it for like a couple of weeks even, and it's all like literally like in the front delt, almost also like where the bicep tendon comes in as well. So I don't know if I just keep jacking it up and it's just never healing, or what the deal is. So I'm dealing with that too.
Getting old, man.
I am.
Falling apart.
Sometimes I wake up and I hurt. But compete.
Fucking too, dude. I hate that shit. Just wake up and something hurts.
Competing, dude. You got to be so dedicated to it.
Yeah, it's a time suck, dude. The People don't realize it. Like, just on top of the working out and like the cardio and it's the meal prep. You don't want to do anything.
Oh, dude, it's just, yeah. And for me, it's all food. Like the food to me is just the hardest thing because I eat pretty bad most,
You go from complete bullshit to
yeah,
trying to
dude.
eat
Like,
clean. It's nah.
I'm just a huge snacker, and it's just that's like the hardest thing for me because I mean, like all of us, I mean, you do the same thing that you guys like. I mean, going to the gym, 4, 5, 6 days a week, even like that's not really like I like going to the gym, so that's not really the hard part.
Yeah.
And cardio, like I don't even mind doing cardio that much. I mean, obviously it kind of sucks, but it gets time consuming because like towards the end of prep, sometimes I'm doing cardio, 2 sessions a day. But for me, it's just all like food is the worst part. Like I don't want to. I don't know.
I bet, especially with like your family, like all the girls. I'm sure they're not wanting to eat the same shit that you're eating, so they're eating some Oreos or some bullshit, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, dude, and like we get pizza a lot and stuff, and it's like there's nothing worse than like come like dinner time and they're all eating pizza and I'm eating like chicken and broccoli.
Some cold fucking white fish. Like,
you're like, so good. I love it. It's like so fucking great.
Yeah. This tilapia and asparagus is way better than that pizza.
Yeah.
you guys are fucking missing out over here.
So you guys are eating pizza again? That sucks.
So yeah, it's just I just don't feel like I'm committed to, or I want to be committed to doing that. So I probably won't compete this year.
Yeah. Take a year off.
It's time consuming for sure. Especially like if you have other things going on, and like you said, you have kids and stuff too. Like you have to, and you want to do what you want to do a competition. You want to do well. You know what I mean? So you don't want to fuck around. So it's like, yeah, it's time consuming. I kind of like being like working out and like eating pretty clean, like 80-20, 70-30 or whatever. That's one thing. But like doing a competition, it's like, no, it's like, I feel like it's like all about that. Your meal prep, you're fucking doing your cardio, some people twice a day, it's like, I don't know. It's a lot.
Yeah. It's like even now for like the last couple of weeks, I'm just trying to get a little bit leaner, for the Arnold and not that I even have to like, I don't have to look a certain way or anything, but just for my own self, I want to try to lean out a little bit. And it's like, so I work out early in the morning and I do some cardio, usually like just 25, 30 minutes of cardio post workout. So I do one session now, but for the last couple of weeks, and I have a treadmill here and I have stairs here at my house. So I can always do cardio at night. But even that, like literally every day, I'm like, I'll do another 30, 45 minutes at night. And dude, I just don't do it because not because I don't really, or because I get too lazy. It's like, dude, I'm working, I'm dealing with kids, or they have soccer. Yeah. Then I'm doing shit for like my real business for like getting ready for the next day. And like before I know it, it's like 9:30 at night. And I'm like, dude, I'm not getting on cardio now. I'm like, fuck
that noise.
Yeah. What time do you go to the gym in the morning? At like 4 or 5?
I'm at the gym at 4:30 every day.
Jesus Christ. So I just started going to the gym at 6:30 in the morning, and I never ever thought I'd be a morning gym guy, but I started going so that way I could save time in my evening and have time to spend with my kid and my girlfriend. And just me going to the gym I get there at 6:30 and it's just terrible. It's not bad once I get going, and I feel like it really gears me up for the rest of my day and puts me in a good mood and all of that. But it's hard because I have to wake up at 5:30, and I'm like, by the time I wake up, you've already been at the gym for an hour.
He's already been killing it, and you're over there doing your bullshit cardio. Jay.
Yeah, I'm just waking up. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I set my alarm is set for like 3:50. So I'll get up at like 3:50 and do my shit, and I drink like pre-workout on the way to the gym. So I'm usually like literally walking to the gym at 4:30 every day. But like even today, like I didn't go to bed last night till about 12. And then I woke up at 5 this morning and I was at the gym at 6. So it's like sleep. My sleep is terrible, man. It's like I'd probably look way better and like recover way better if I got some sleep, man. It's terrible.
Dude, whoever the sleep guru is in the world who just has like the perfect sleep schedule, like show me that fucking person, because I tell you what, I've had
they got nothing else going on.
Like, what are they doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Just somebody show me that guy.
Well, dude, when I see people who are like just even like friends or people I talk to, or I see people online, they're like, I need, like I have to get my 8 hours of sleep a night. I'm thinking like, dude, that's like 2 days for me.
Yeah.
Like I literally sleep like 4.5 hours probably every night.
Yeah.
That's 5 hours.
That's been me lately too, man.
I saw some guy the other day, and he posted on the Instagram. He's like, if you're not getting 9 hours of sleep a night, like you don't even need to be asking like what program you should be on. Like you're already fucking yourself. And I was like, man, like
9
I'm
hours of sleep.
Who the fuck has time for 9 hours?
Was that Artemis Dalgan?
No, it wasn't Artemis.
I'm just kidding.
Some other powerlifting dude.
Damn.
Yeah. I wish I could get 9 hours.
That's a lot. Yeah.
I was doing one of those Whoop bands, and it was actually recording my sleep. And I was like, oh, well, I get like, I sometimes get 8, I'll get 8. But then I was looking at it, every time I would go to sleep, I would lose like an hour just between getting up to go pee and like just restless, like rolling around. And so I'm actually only getting like, 7 or 6. I'm like, what the fuck? I was thinking I was getting an extra hour.
Yeah, I get like 5.5 to 6 hours of sleep every night. Because just how kids are, man. You have kids.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have one, but I want to like spend time with him, and then sometimes he's has more teeth coming through right now, so he's restless and screaming and fussing and fighting us during sleep. And then I'll fall asleep, and then my girlfriend will get my girlfriend's job is like an on-call type of job. So in the middle of the night, they could call her, and she has to leave for like an hour or two. And so then I'm up, and I shit you not. As soon as she gets out of bed, my son wakes up screaming. And so if it's 3 o'clock in the morning, my son is now awake screaming and crying, and I have to like sit there and hold him and rock him to sleep. So now I'm losing even more sleep. And then she gets home like 4:30, and I'm like, I now have to get up in an hour. I might as well just stay up.
Yeah, once you're up. How old is your son now? I know
Kingston is he turned 8 months on the 11th of this month.
Okay. Yeah, I know it wasn't. I know he was really young still. You just had him. I remember last year. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It feels like it was just yesterday. I was waiting for him to pop out, and now here he is walking around, crawling and talking, and has teeth. It's nuts.
yeah, that teething stage is shitty, man.
Yeah. Yeah, you had to go through it 3 times, 4 times?
4
You got 4 kiddos, boys and girls, or you got all girls, or what?
girls.
Dean is the lone dude.
You got the all girls, huh? That's like some shit that's gonna happen to me, probably.
Yeah, dude.
You know
It's
what? Oh, continue.
No, I was gonna say four girls, the wife, and then 2 female dogs. It's like
Wow.
like the estrogen factory over there.
Oh my goodness.
It's because your T is too high, bro. Like, that's what happens.
The universe is trying to balance you out.
I got to take tests just to keep my manhood around here.
Yeah, I feel that.
You know, one thing I really like about like your page and how you brand and like market everything is I really like how, and I've seen this before with a lot of like parents, is I really like how you don't use your kids and your family to try and gain clout on Instagram and social media. Like I've seen a lot of parents who have kids, 1, 2, 3, 4, however many, and they constantly make these just what seems to be very ungenuine posts about their kids every second of the day, how everything they do is for them and this and that. And it's like, dude, like we get it. Like you have a kid, but with you include your family in normal things that you would include your family in, like opening up your cookie dealer stuff and watching how excited they are to open a cookie, or when you take them to sports. I've seen you post pictures of like if they do really good in a tournament or something like that, like genuine cool stuff. I don't see you making these cheesy, tacky posts about how you're the best dad in the world and oh my god, you know what I mean, to gain clout. And I've always really respected that because I'm like, dude, that's so cool, because I see a lot of people on social media who market, it's almost like they market their kids to gain themselves like traction and attention. So
I'm actually really glad that you brought that up. I wanted to talk about that.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about it. Yeah, so the shout out to you, because I fucking don't. I was just talking about that. I was like, I don't like that.
I can't stand it.
That's
dude.
like not, I don't like it. Some people might disagree with that. Obviously, Jay is on my side about that, but just like, yeah, I don't know. Some people, I just feel like they, like, what was a pic? I just pulled up a picture the other day, and it kind of like resembled that a little bit. It was Brad Castleberry. Like, I don't follow him, but I pulled up this picture, and it was like a Christmas picture. And it was like, you know the one I'm talking about with the coffee bang.
I saw it. Yeah, and he's literally like in like he's wearing nothing.
Yeah,
but
he's like in his undies.
Yeah, I'm like it's an awkward picture.
It's a really awkward picture.
He's got his kids. I think it was a Christmas one, and he's literally like naked except for his tiny shorts, and he's holding a bang drink.
Yeah,
I'm like, what a weird picture with your kids and you. Like,
And his kids aren't even like it's not even that it was like a baby or anything. You know, his kid. I think his kids are like, I don't know. They're like a little bit older. They're like elementary school.
Yeah, I think his
Something.
daughter. I don't know how old she is.
I think
but
she's like middle school or something. I don't know. She's like older. I was like, this is really weird. I was like, this dude, like his fucking hang dang was like right by his son's, like, you know what I mean? It was like right there. I was like, well, I don't know about that one.
It's funny because I literally just saw that picture a couple days ago myself because I was on his page for something. I clicked on something. I was a post with him and Joey Swole actually. On Joey Swole's, I think, and then I clicked on Castleberry just because I haven't looked at his page in a while, and I saw that picture. So it's funny. I know exactly which photo you're
Yeah,
talking.
Dude.
I saw it, and I was like, that's kind of weird.
Yes. I'm so glad you've seen it. Yeah,
No,
go.
I have to pull it up.
Go. Oh, dude, you have to. You're gonna think the same thing. And if you haven't seen, have you seen it, Jay?
No.
Oh, dude. So just go. You'll see it. It's his Christmas photo. He's got the Christmas tree in the background. You'll know. You'll know which one it is.
Oh yeah, you'll see it.
It's funny as shit.
That is an odd topic though, like the people, because nowadays like everyone's trying to go viral and Insta famous or social media famous, and so like they're just trying to use whatever means necessary, and like obviously kids are super popular, like people love kids. And so, yeah, marketing your kids to gain your self traction is kind of it's a weird way of going about it.
Yeah, and me personally, my mind has kind of shifted a little bit. I would say in the last, I don't know, maybe even 2 years ago. It's like when I was started on Instagram, you know, whatever. Like it's like everybody, you want to be somewhat, like you said, it's like you want to get the followers, you want to get popular, this and that. But then like. I think a couple of years ago, I was so much more worried, like about what I post, right? Or is this good enough? Or is this a cool post? Or you know, whatever. Or you almost try to like emulate or imitate somebody else's page, or at least just like model it. Like, oh, I like this person's page. I want to try to make mine like that. And then like I don't know when it was or why, but at a certain point, I was just like who gives a fuck? Like I was kind of, I really did. I was kind of like. People are either just going to like you or they're not going to like you. Like you're not, you know, not. I'm sure there's a lot of people that think I'm a douche and don't like me, and like it doesn't bother me. I don't lose sleep over it. So it's like, yeah. But I'm like, you know, the people they don't pay my bills. Nobody does except me, and I'm like, what am I doing or why? I'm just going to post whatever I want to post. It's my Instagram page. If people like it, they can like it. If they don't, they don't. And then I just be me, like and. Dude, I try to help. You know, I get, especially now, dude, I'm getting so many more like DMs and messages and questions, and I just try to answer everybody. Especially since being on like, dude, like just from being on that podcast with Seth, like I've gone up like 2,600 followers, like just in a matter of like, you know, like that was like in like 3 or 4 days following the podcast, like my thing shot up. So I'm getting even like more like messages and like. I'll get just, you know, some messages are just completely outrageous where people just ask me, like, I'll know they won't give me any bit of information. Somebody be like, hey man, what should my calories be at?
I love that. Love that.
The stuff I get, and I'm kind of like, you know, most people probably won't even answer. They'd be like, you know, like whatever. But
you're like 1,200.
Yeah. but I try to answer every single person. You know, not that I'm get tons and tons of them, but I make it a point to like just answer people, and you know, like and like somebody like that, I was like, dude, that's almost impossible for me to answer for you. Like, I don't know a single thing about you, so I'll throw that and then start some conversation with the person. But I think that's gone a long way with people as well. It's just engaging, which I mean, to me, it's like, dude, we're on social media, and so like you should be somewhat social.
There's no reason not to answer like your DMs. That's
yeah, and again, it's like, you know. I understand why the people that have like, you know, 500,000 followers or 1 million followers, like I can understand they don't answer everybody because I'm sure that I can't even imagine how many they get. But for somebody like myself, who's a nobody, like for me to like blow people off, I think would be a complete dick move. So it's like, I try to offer help to people I can. And I'll tell them too, like, dude, I don't really know the answer, or like, I have no problem. I'd rather tell people flat out, I don't know, bro. Like then. And try to sound like I know what I'm talking about. So I'm very like real with people, or I'll say like, this is my opinion, or this is what I've done that's worked for me, or I didn't like this or whatever. Like, I'll get people ask me questions about gear all the time, and I'm just like, dude, I don't really give that advice. Yeah. And like a guy yesterday just messaged me, and he's like, hey, do you write gear protocols? And I'm like, no, dude, I don't. I'm not a coach. I go, I'm not a professional. I don't, so I go,
I know a doctor. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't really do that, But and the guy literally responded back though. He was like, cool, man, thanks for your honesty. I appreciate you getting back to me. So it's like stuff like that. Some people might just blow that guy off, but I just flat out told him, like, I don't do it, and this is why. And he was like, he literally said, thanks for getting back to me and being honest. Yeah. So I think doing stuff like that has gone a long way also with the people that do, follow me or whatever and engage with me.
Well, yeah, more people are going to be more inclined to want to follow you and like stick with following you because they feel like they actually have some type of, relationship with you because you do take the time to respond to everybody. It makes you more of a real person. Instead of just instead of some like social media superstar who thinks that they're better than everybody else, which like you're saying, like I get it too. If you have, a couple 100,000 or like million plus followers, that's a ton of DMs. I don't blame you for not answering my specific DM, whatever. But like someone like 30, 40, 50, even like 100,000, you know what I mean? Like you probably have time to answer a couple DMs. So that's a big factor in why people probably like you a lot is because you are just a real dude and you post real shit on your story and you respond to people and you interact with people and you run groups on Facebook where you respond to people and help people out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I do the same thing like on my actual page. And I don't remember who told me. Actually, you know who I think kind of taught me. Jack, obviously Jack Barrentine.
Yeah,
I think I have to give Jack credit. I think one thing I do, and I think he's the one that told me, this goes back a couple of years ago, is like on my actual main page, that feed, if people comment like on a post, I'll comment back to every single person there is, even if it's something, even if I give them a couple emojis back. Yeah. And because he had said to me, and this is probably 4 years ago, he said he does the same thing because he's like, if somebody takes a minute out of their day to comment on your post, he's like, I just give them the same respect back and I comment back. So that's something that stuck with me, and I still do. I do that with everybody, and I think that goes a long way too because I know, like you were saying, there's been a lot of times where I'll comment on somebody's post and you get nothing back, or I've sent people a DM, no response, and you're kind of like, if you do that a couple times to somebody and get zero response, like I'll stop DMing that person or stop commenting on their shit because just for that reason, not that you feel like disrespected, but it's like, well, what's the point, dude? You don't engage with me at all. Like, so why am I going to spend time?
The worst is when you see that they've seen your DM and then they don't reply back to it. Because now I'm like, you opened my message and like at least like my fucking what I'm saying.
Sometimes, and I've gotten into this issue is I'll open a DM and I'm like, oh, that's a longer question. I don't really have the time to answer that at this moment. That makes sense. I'll mark it as like unread, but that doesn't change the fact that you've seen it. Like it doesn't delete the scene. And so I'm like, oh, this person thinks I'm an asshole because I'm leaving them on read, but I really just don't have time at this moment to respond. But I'm gonna respond in like an hour or two.
Yeah, but you're still responding though.
But I'm responding down the road, and
so that still means something. That's why that still goes a long way, man. Imagine if like I read your message and I was like, oh shit, I can't reply to this, and then you're like, this motherfucker left me on read, and then 2 hours later I like send you a message replying to everything you asked. Yeah. Like I wouldn't even care about the fact you left me on read.
Yeah, I think that's an issue though. Like that nowadays, and I think a lot of people fail to grasp it. Like that's a simple concept, like the responding to comments, the responding to DMs. It's a simple concept that goes a long way. Like it's like you were saying, like it's not major. Like even if it's just a couple emojis or something, or even just liking their message on, like when they send you a DM, like or liking their not liking their comment. Liking their comment's a little bit stupid. You should actually respond to a comment, but. It's just such a simple thing. I remember I was DMing or I commented on somebody's page recently, and like they only had like 80,000 followers or something, like nothing major. And I was asking them a question, and no response. I'm like, like this is the difference between you being at 80,000 and then you being at like 250,000. Like that's how you build your brand, by being a real fucking person.
Yeah, and dude, I think like you said, it doesn't have to be. You don't have to write a paragraph back to people, but it's like even a couple words or a couple emojis. Like I think that goes a long way with people, man. It's like because like you said, like if you're on the other end of that, you're like, oh shit, he or she looked at my message, they commented back, whatever. And to me, like I was even speaking to myself with people that never comment back to me. It's like you're probably going to be more inclined to leave another comment or talk to that person again. You know what I mean? As opposed to like, well, fuck this person. They never comment back to me ever. So why should I help build their page and keep commenting on all their posts if they never respond to anything?
Yeah.
So I think by doing that stuff, like you said, it's not that big of a deal time wise for the most part. And I think it goes a long way with people on the other end.
Well, everybody wants to feel included or special or like they're a part of something, right? And especially when they're taking time to comment on somebody who they maybe look up to or maybe want to know something about, or maybe they need help with something, so they take time to ask this specific person. It's because they deem you important in their life, right? So whatever it is they do. So when you respond with an emoji or you like their reply or you do anything like that, they now feel like they've been heard by you. Like, oh, this guy, I'm not just a no one. Like this person sees me and acknowledges the fact, like, hey, I'm here. And like, from the outside looking in, like that means a lot to people. Just being seen means a lot to people. You know what I mean?
And they're more likely to. And not even from like this shouldn't be the motivation, but they're more likely to support what you endorse or what you're about, or like if you were to launch launching your t-shirts every now and then, like they're more likely to support that type of thing because they're like, oh, you know what, like Dean's my friend, or like I'm cool with Dean, like I'm gonna support what he's about, like because especially with like t-shirts or like supplements, like there's so much competition, there's so many brands out there, like. That people are going to go to the brands with people that they fuck with, the people that they support, and they're not going to go just buy. Like there's too many other options out there. Like you can't not build a connection with people.
Well, yeah, and I think forget the supplement. We could be talking about anything. Like, forget even the supplement industry. You could be selling fucking widgets or something. Like I think people. Like you said, if you have that relationship with people, the people buy from people, right? So, like you said, they could go and buy these products from anybody or use anybody else's code, and if they have that relationship with you and you spend some time with them and they feel that connection or whatever, or you've helped them before, people are buying the product. They might buy the product anyways, but they're going to buy the product from you. Because of you, what I mean? Because they like you, like you said, James, because they support you or whatever, so they'll buy from this person as opposed to buying from this person. So, I 100% agree with that. It's like, people buy from people people buy from people that they like and trust, really.
Exactly. Yeah. And like, so I sell cars, right? I'm a sales consultant for a dealership. And I sell a lot of pre-owned cars. I would say that a majority of my customers come in looking for pre-owned cars. Listen, man, you can buy an F-150 anywhere. You can buy an Acura, or you can buy a Toyota, or you can buy a Honda. You can buy those cars anywhere. On any lot, you can find a pre-owned one, right? They specifically buy them for me because I do a good job with like developing relationships with people and making sure that they know that they can trust me and things like that. And like when it comes to sales, because in life, anything you do is a sale, right? Even not selling is a form of selling. So you're selling yourself every single day through social media, through everything, right? The best way to sell yourself is through being just yourself and developing those relationships with people, because like you said, people are going to buy from people they trust. People are going to trust people that they're like. So if they can relate to you, that means they now can put themselves in your shoes, which means they now can trust you, which means they're going to stand behind something that you endorse over someone else who they're not alike, or who they don't know, or who they don't trust. So,
yeah, and you always hear the phrase, and I try to tell people that are like, if people ask, not that I'm a social media guru or anything by any means, but I always tell people to build your own brand. Not that like I've made that up. You always heard the phrase like, You Inc. Right? I mean so that's why I tell people like build your own brand, and that's what I believe in too, because let's face it, Axe and Sledge could call me tomorrow and say you're fucking done, we're dropped you, whatever. Get out here. So then I have what? I have no supplement company I'm with, but I still have myself. And I think if I was to go to another company, a lot of those people would come with me or whatever. So you still have to, like you said, is build your own brand and build your following and get those relationships with people. Because I still get that sometimes. I'm sure you do, James. Like, I was with 5% for like 2.5, almost 3 years. Then I went to Cass Martin and her work ethic brand for about 1.5 years. And then I've been with Seth for like a year. And I have people now that will still DM me sometimes, and people that I've never even talked to before, but they say in the DM like, "Hey man, I've been following you since 5%, whatever, love what you do, blah blah blah." So it's like those people I've never even spoke to before. I don't know who they are, but they've been following me, for 3, 4, 5 years, which is a really cool thing. And they're just kind of coming with me for the ride and doing whatever. So I think it all goes back to just building your own, even there's nothing wrong obviously with promoting whatever companies you're working with, but you still have to promote yourself and promote your own brand. I think it's super important.
Yeah, 100%, dude. That's the way, like that's just how social media has to be nowadays. Like you can't just expect like it to grow, or you just post something, you're a superstar now. Like you have to actually like put some effort into stuff nowadays.
Which is hard to come by because nobody wants to do shit anymore.
No, 100%. Oh man. So we got some questions. Actually, we put that thing up on the story last night.
Yeah.
Questions. Let's see. Bro, do you get that with your questions? All these spam questions nowadays?
Hi, James.
I wasn't. I hadn't been for a while, and probably the last maybe 3 times that I've put a question sticker up, I've been getting a lot now. Yeah, you'll just get like hi, or something, or I'll get like weird. I had to block like 2 CBD companies because they would like send me weird fucking messages, like not trying to like recruit. They would send us like weird shit. They would say shit, and it was like some CBD company. I'm like, what are you guys saying? Yeah. So I've like blocked some of those people because I'm like, I don't even know. Yeah, I don't know if they're probably just robots or spam things or something. I'm like, I don't even know what they are.
Oh, it's 100% spam. I'll get like smiley faces or just random like thumbs up emojis. I'm like, motherfucker, at least ask a question if you're going to spam my account.
Like it's like I just honestly, it's like the last 3 times I've thrown up I've been getting a lot, but before that I really wouldn't get many. So it's kind of weird that it just started now.
I don't even understand like why that's still a thing. Like what kind of reaction do like people think that's going to get?
Oh, I send them nasty DMs all the time. Like some dude sent this one dude. I just recently started blocking him, but this one dude he would he's like with First Form. He's like one of their ambassadors or some shit, and he has like maybe 10,000 followers. And he sent me. He continually sends me the same question. He doesn't follow me, so it's like it's a spam question, obviously. So I just send him a nasty DM, like, dude, you look like shit. Nobody's following you anyway. Like, yeah. I'm waiting for him to open it. I didn't block him yet because I want him to open it. I'm pissed.
I love when like it doesn't really happen as much anymore, but when like the BM fit or whatever they were that like they would comment like on you know what I'm talking about? They used to like always comment on like, pictures and stuff like that.
The clothing, was that the clothing?
Dreamy and elegance.
Yeah. There was like this. I'd always be like, "Suck my dick." Like in my comments, I'd be like, "Fuck off." Like, or
dude,
just, like
they had like thousands of accounts, I think, because they would be everywhere.
I'm like, what are you guys?
And
doing?
I never saw anybody ever wearing a Dreamy and Elegance shirt. Like,
no.
I don't get what the purpose of it.
What was the other one? Paragon. Do you guys remember Paragon Fit or Paragon Apparel? That was another one. Do you remember that? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Was that like a real one? That was like
I think Paragon was actually real because I think girls. I think there's 2 girls I know that I think used to be with them actually.
I used to get that one a lot on like a few years back on my like all the time when I would throw up a bunch of hashtags and shit. I used to get like Paragon like all the time. Just like,
you know what else I used to get, which I haven't even seen in a long time, was the It Works, the wrap, the ceramic.
Yeah.
I used to get DMs from those people like, get abs if you put this saran wrap around your belly.
I actually just got a message from a girl who asked me if I wanted to make extra income. So of course I said, sure. What do you got? And she's like, well, it's this product called It Works and blah. And I was like,
No shit. You in 2020 you got a DM like that?
yeah.
That's wild.
Well, it was actually a Facebook message.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what's happened. They've left Instagram and they've gone to Facebook because it's like an older, less hip part of the generation or part of the demographic.
All
They're
I'm
like,
saying is the money sounded interesting.
oh, bro, I bet you were like, all right, send it to
I was
me.
kind of interested. Yeah, she's like,
She almost got you, huh?
She almost did. She's like, we'll send you $120 worth of product, all weight loss, blah blah blah. And I was like, I don't really care about that stuff. I'll use it if it works, cool, whatever. And then she was like, you can make like $700 a week. And I was like, oh, that sounds kind of cool. Like that'd be nice extra money to make. But then I was like, what's the name of the company? And she was like, well, it's called It Works. And I was like, ugh,
Lost me.
ooh, can't do it. Sorry for them.
No thanks.
All right, let's see what we got here. We got a few. Okay, this one's from our buddy Fresh X Flow. How many cookie dealer cookies do you consume a month, Dean?
A month? I don't know. I don't know. A month, man. I've had 4 this weekend already.
Bro, those look like insane. Those are like bricks, man.
I need to peep
Dude,
that right now.
they're 8 ounces each cookie, so they're half pound.
Holy fuck.
But
Holy shit.
and each cookie, dude, they're like 900 calories each.
Fuck.
So
How do you stay in shape?
they're huge, dude. You follow Juan Diesel
Yeah, I
Morel?
follow one.
Yeah, like have you? He'll eat like 6 in a day. So will Jeff Long.
Well, I remember Juan had his like 20,000 calorie like cheat day video that I saw.
Yeah.
So it doesn't surprise me.
All
Like,
he has to do is eat 20 of those, and he's
like 4 cookies. That's fucking child's play, man.
Yeah, they're insane. I don't know how many I would eat in a month, dude. Especially now, I'm trying to like cut back. That's what's fucking me up for the Arnold, dude. I can't stop eating these.
Dude, it's rough, man.
You
Like
get boxes and boxes of them.
it's rough.
Yeah, she takes care of me, man. She definitely takes care of me with those cookies. I get a bunch of them. At one point, did you see like that split screen, that like thing from TikTok that was real popular?
Where you were opening the box or whatever.
Yeah, so I did that like video or whatever. And I had them all over my counter. I think I had 77 cookies on that video.
Holy shit.
So even now, like my freezer out in my garage is like full of them.
Damn.
I know. I always see those videos, you and all your kids eating them. I'm like, God, those look so damn good.
Yeah, they love doing those videos, dude. Like in a lot of those videos, you'll see it's even like my kids, like friends. So like it'll be like me and like 6 girls, like little girls, and we'll do like taste testing on like 4, 5, 6 cookies at once. They love it. So like they'll come over, and they're all like kids that live right here in the neighborhood, but they'll come over and they're like, "Can we do a video? Can we do cookies?" I'm like, yeah, let's do it. They love it. And then now, some of their parents now are ordering cookies from my cookie dealer also.
nice.
Yeah,
That's good.
See, that's how you do it, Dean. You get the kids hooked,
Yep.
We're gonna take over the Girl Scouts.
bro.
Oh my God, Girl Scout, dude! If Girl Scouts start selling my cookie dealer stuff,
No, they
I'm
would.
gonna be broke.
Yeah, dude. I've specifically not bought any of those cookies because I know that I would crush however many I purchase. I know I will crush that in a matter of days. And
Yeah,
I don't need those calories.
they're dangerous, dude. They really are.
How many calories are in each? Like
900.
Like 9.
that's good.
Yeah, like she posted like one of them. Like, it's just called the OG chocolate chip.
Yeah.
That one, she actually posted a full, like nutritional panel, and I think it was like 800 and something calories. It had like 111 carbs. It's like all fat, sugar, and carbs, dude. It's like no.
Just eat one of those for the day. Hit my macros.
0 protein at all.
Yeah, like I don't, not so much now, but at the beginning, because I was getting them from her before she even was before she was selling them, like basically. So I guess the way she started was that she was baking those for Juan for like his cheat meals and cheat days or whatever. So it was just like she was doing them. And then Jeff Long, who's a retired pro bodybuilder. Jeff's good friends with him too. So Jeff, and I talk to Jeff almost like every day. He was getting them because he lives in Jersey. They live in New York, but so Karen was shipping them to Jeff. And it was actually before that last show I did. I was like, I have to get some of these. And she wasn't even selling them. She had no website. She had nothing. And I reached out to her and I just said, hey, I'm friends with Jeff Long. I need to get some of those cookies. And I'm like, I have a show coming up in like 2 weeks. I was like, is there any way, I can get some, I was like, I'll pay whatever for them. And, dude, she's like, yeah, I'll take care of you. And she's like, I'll have them there, before your show. She's like, I'll make them that week. So it's a fresh batch and ship them, dude. And sure enough, they were actually delivered on the Saturday of my show. So I was able to eat them that night after my show.
Oh, nice.
And then from there, it's just snowballed with me promoting them for it. And she, sends me some all the time and stuff. So
Where's she out of?
New York.
Oh, right on. That's rad because I see them everywhere now. Like it's wild to see how big that's grown.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. So she literally was not doing anything with them, just making them for some of these pros and whatever. And so it's gone from that to she was baking them in like a friend's bakery, I guess, at the time. Well, then the bakery started getting a lot busier and she couldn't do it. So she took like almost like a month or 5 weeks off because Juan did like 3 different shows to qualify for the Olympia already this year. So she was traveling with him and everything. And then as soon as she got back, she ended up buying a full bakery herself. And then she started going hardcore. So now so I've been eating them for probably 6 months, I guess, or however long it's been, 6-7 months. But to go from like she was doing nothing. And I think last week on she's doing 2 releases a week now. And I think last week, one of the days she dropped 12,000 cookies and sold out in 31 minutes.
Whoa.
Jeez.
That's wild, man.
But what's funny was there was like 2 weeks ago, I had posted something. I commented on one of the posts and she commented back to me. She goes, I remember when I did a drop of 300 cookies and I was worried people wouldn't buy them. And now she's literally doing like 12,000 at once and selling out in 30 minutes.
That's insane.
So it's cool to see her blow up like this and grow like, you know what I mean? It's like a lot of people get like jealous or hate on people for being successful. And for me, dude, that she's taking care of me so well. And for me, it's awesome to watch like somebody go from like nothing to all of a sudden, with the hottest cookie on Instagram and just blowing up. So it's awesome. I'm super happy for her to blow up like that. It's crazy.
It's a testament to work ethic and like everyone wants everything to happen so quickly. And it's like,
well, dude, she was like I talk to Juan now all the time. So because I've become friends with them a lot now on Instagram and stuff. And like, like a lot of these guys, they have a chiropractor or whatever, massage person or come to the house. So on his story, like last week, she was on the table and the guy was doing, I don't know if it was a chiropractor or massage, but she was laying on the table and had her laptop up. And I messaged Juan. I go, dude, tell her to take a break. And he goes, she won't, man. She's a workaholic. But it just shows you like to be successful, these fucking people work nonstop, man.
Yeah. Especially with like the starting the brands and stuff. Like everyone, I get that a lot. Everyone's always asking how to start a brand. It's like, it's not as easy as it seems. Like people don't want to do that. Like she's getting a massage and she's still fucking working. Like
yeah,
that doesn't appeal. Like people don't see that and they just assume it's like, oh, she's just making cookies in her kitchen and now she's making all this money. And like, nah, it doesn't work like that. You got to grow with it.
I know you guys are getting ready you're launching your supplement company and it's like people, I know, I'm sure you've had all kinds of ups and downs. I think I even saw some of your stories where some stuff got messed up or, so
ridiculous.
That's the thing. It's like everybody sees the end result or the success, and like nobody really realizes like what goes into to get there. Majority of people don't want to do the work to get there. But I mean, for the most part, like what frustrates me is people just don't know what goes into it. It's like, oh, I see this guy's successful, I should do that. It's like, dude, you don't know half of the shit this person's probably gone through and the ups and downs and the hiccups and shit to get to where you're at. And there's so many moving pieces. And I'm sure now trying to getting ready to launch your own supplement company because we get questions all the time in the Facebook groups like, you guys should come out with this, you guys should come out with that. And I'm thinking like, dude, this is like a huge process. Like you don't just like decide to come out with a product and a week later it's out. You know what I mean? There's like a million things with manufacturers and labels, and you probably know way more than I know. So it's like people just don't see or know. I think a lot of people just don't have like the business sense of what really goes into this stuff to make shit happen.
Yeah, somebody was hitting. Well, even not talking about like the supplements, like because obviously like I've gotten that already. Like, oh, you should come out with this product. It's like, dude, I've been working for like over a year trying to get just these two fucking products. Chill,
Yeah.
like chill. They're not even out yet. Chill, but like even just like the t-shirts. Like somebody was like, how do I start a t-shirt company? It's like, bro, the process of getting the t-shirts made is the easiest fucking part. Like
Yeah.
chill. Like if you're not willing to do like some dude's like, how do I get some t-shirts made? It's like if you're not able to figure that part out on your own, like then you are so far behind already, man.
Yeah, because like doing a T-shirt is not even on the same scale as doing stuff, like supplements or something else like much more detailed than that. Like T-shirt, I mean, is a pretty easy thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild. Let's see what else we got. Adams JS54. This kind of same as the last question, but you have to give up one, dude. Doritos or cookies? Which one you giving up, Dean?
Probably Doritos, man.
Well,
I do like-
a tough one,
obviously.
dude. I fucking love Doritos, bro.
I do.
I mean, no, cookies are good, but I love Doritos. I don't know. That's tricky.
Yeah, because I'm a huge Dorito guy, man. Especially those that sweet chili one, the purple one. I've been eating.
Oh, it's so good.
Fucking
Yeah.
Jay over here just crushed a bag a couple weeks ago. Like we were at our buddy's house. He's like,
Yeah, I did.
Braden had that bag, and he's like,
I
"Hey
love-
Jay, do you want some Doritos?" And Jay
Say
just
less,
crushed the
man.
entire fucking
Say
bag.
less.
I want the whole thing.
Yeah,
I want some Doritos. Fucking course I do.
You want a piece
that purple bag's probably my favorite flavor, man. I love that shit.
But you'd give up Doritos over cookies?
I probably, man. I don't know, because I'm a huge. That's probably my biggest thing. Like when I say like I'm a huge snacker, I'm a big like chip guy. Like probably in fact when I was up there on Seth's podcast, that's what he asked me. Like he's asked me to give him like my favorite snack, and I was like, I love cookies and shit, but I'm probably more of a snacker on like Doritos, barbecue chips, and pretzels. Like those, I'm like a crunchy guy, man. So or like chips and salsa too. Those are probably like my four. If my four things that are probably my biggest weaknesses are like Doritos, barbecue chips, chips and salsa, and pretzels. Like I kill that shit.
Did I crave like salty shit? Like I like pretzels. And
Pretzels
shit.
are fucking underrated, dude.
Yeah, dude, they're so good. They are super underrated.
Yeah.
Pretzels are underrated as fuck.
I think I would prefer to give up the cookies personally, because even though I eat more cookies, I feel way shittier when I gorge on like a bunch of cookies than I do when I gorge on like a bag of Doritos or some shit like that.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree with you on that.
Yeah, that's tough. Those cookies, that company were they at your show? Was that the
No,
was that a different cookie company?
There's a bunch of those cookie companies, but it was like there's a bunch of people trying to do businesses like that. But
okay.
Yeah, there's so many on Instagram.
Instagram is like food porn. So like putting out a company like that is fairly easy to start, but it's hard to scale. Like it's wild that she's putting out 12,000 cookies at a time. Like that's so many.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. Do you know how many people she has like helping her out? Like she has like her.
No, but I know on some of the stories. I mean, she has a full bakery, so I mean, I've seen some stories where they're in there packing and stuff, and there's probably like 8 to 10 people, I think.
That's so crazy. Yeah, I mean, good for them, dude. They're fucking grinding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just pulled up. I was just looking at some of those pictures. I was like, yeah, these cookies are these are crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've weighed, they're supposed to be half pound, and I've probably weighed like 40 of them just to check, and they're always like 8.3, 8. I mean, they're always right on the money.
Yeah.
You might get one that's just a little under it here and there, but I mean, for the most part, at 99% of them are 8 ounces or more.
Just send it back. You're like, nope,
This didn't meet your standards right here.
nope, not right.
Is she going to be at the Arnold?
I don't know. I don't think she'll be there with a booth. I asked Juan if like the other about 2 weeks ago. I said, "Are you going to be at the Arnold?" Just to him, and he said he thinks he might be. He's not sure yet, but I don't know if that just means walking around or I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
But I don't think she's having a booth or anything, at least that I know of.
Not yet, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's tons of. I just had a cookie company. I think it's called World's Best Cookie Dough or something. They just sent me a message, a DM a couple days ago, probably because they see me with all her cookies, I guess. But same thing. They contacted me and said, "Hey, we'd love to send you a box of our cookies and have you review them." But I literally told them no, like thank you, but no thanks, because I'm like, she's taking care of me so well. I'm like, dude, I just can't do it. I'm like,
Conflict of interest right there, man.
yeah, like, dude, I have enough integrity, right? Some people would be like, yeah, send them free shit. But I'm just like, I told them, I said, your cookies look awesome. Thank you so much for the offer. But I said, I do a lot of work with my cookie dealer. And I said, I just wouldn't feel right doing it. And, yeah, they said, thanks, whatever back. But I was just like, I mean, who doesn't want free cookies? But I'm just like, I almost feel like I'm like cheating on somebody.
That's a big thing too, is like, especially like on social media, because like everyone wants free shit, right? Like everyone's like, oh, and I remember when I first started, I was like, dude, I want free shit. Like I want people to just send me stuff. And now like as I've gone through this phase and like realized like you want to be like authentic, right? You want to be who you are, and by doing so, you got to be careful of like what you endorse or like what you put your name behind or what you're using. And so like I actually did, I think it was like some CBD company, or I think it reached out to me like the other day, and they were like, hey man, we'd love to have you, we'd love to send you some stuff and, like maybe work with you, have you promote it a little bit, like not be like an ambassador or anything, but just like give them some free promotion for some product. And I was like, you know what, honestly, like, no, I'm good, man. Like I don't feel comfortable doing that. I don't really want to. Like I'm not a big CBD guy. Like I know you're with Herbstrong, and no, not saying anything about them, but I personally, I've tried some CBD stuff. I don't really enjoy it. It doesn't really help me too much. I feel like you need the THC version personally.
Yeah. That just came up in one of the Facebook groups. Somebody was just asking in general about CBD. And it was like 50. I was reading through all the comments, and it was like half and half. Like most people, like, dude, just smoke weed, whatever. Yeah. Some people are like, well, I'm a cop, or
you can't do that.
I get drug tested all the time, and then some people are like, oh, I've been taking CBD, it does wonders for me, and it's like back and forth, and like, I'll give you my honest opinion too. Like, and I've been with Herbstrong for like almost 2 years now, and like I've even had people that I know here, like locally, that are part of other CBD companies offer me to like leave Herbstrong, go with them. And I'm just like, I have it good with them and what they give me and all that and what I have to do. So I'm just kind of like, same thing. It's like, I don't want to go somewhere else. And then whatever happens, I'm like, I'd rather just, what I mean? Like the grass isn't always greener, and whatever, but, I forgot where the fuck I was going with this, but the CBDs, people will ask me all the time about like aches and pains and this and that. And I'm very honest with people, like, cause I'm always beat up, and I'll tell people, cause I've seen people say like, oh, I had this injury or this, or like I started taking CBD and it's fixed it, or I feel so much better. I tell people flat out, like, I honestly can't tell a huge difference, in like injury wise, even though a lot of the CBDs promoted as like recovery and this and that. Yeah. Maybe it is doing something or whatever. Maybe it helps a little bit, but for me, the main thing I take it for is for sleep. Like, so I'll take it at night a lot, because I used to be, I don't, obviously we already talked about sleep. I don't sleep that much as it is, but I used to wake up a lot. Same thing. So if I only sleep like 5 hours in a night, I'd wake up like 2 or 3 times, or, I'd piss once and then I'd toss and turn. I'd wake up, shit like that. Once I started taking the CBD at night before I go to bed, I can I'll sleep at least without waking up. So that, to me, and I tell people flat out, like, to me, that's the biggest thing I've gotten from it. I don't really feel, a lot of people preach anxiety and this, or helps anxiety, but I'm like, I don't really get much anxiety either, so I can't really speak on that. So I try to be upfront with people on that aspect of like, this is what it's done for me, and it's like, I tell people too, it's like, dude, everybody's different. So maybe it helps you with some shoulder pain or something. I'm like, I don't know. But I agree with you. Like, I would say if you took a poll, most people are going to say they want THC because it's going to be much better,
more effective. Yeah, and same thing. Like, I've never experienced any benefits of like I've had some of the creams, and it's supposed to help with aches and pains. Like, I've never gotten any of that. The only benefit I've gotten is like it has improved some sleep when I have taken it like at an effective dose. But like I know some people have made massive claims about like how it's like, you know, cured this or it's cured that. It's like I can't speak on that, and I'm not going to endorse something and say that it did that. But like going back to like the original thing, it's like I don't want to put my name behind that. I don't want to be associated with it. Yeah, you're going to send me some free shit, but like that, if I start endorsing that and, you know, making some claims that you're trying to get me to make, like that's hurting my credibility down the road. It's hurting my brand overall, and I'm not gonna do that. Like even some companies like, hey, I'll send you some shirts. It's like, yeah, everyone likes a shirt, but I don't want your shirt just for the shirt. You know, I want to actually believe in your company or support your company. Like I don't want it just to send you a free shirt. You know.
And we kind of talked about that too. It's like, and like you said, it's like I think at the beginning, you just got on Instagram, you're starting, like people fall into that. It's like, oh my God, I can get free shit. So everybody wants it. But then it's like you said, it's like after a while and you have companies wanting to give you stuff. I'd rather not, if I know I'm probably not going to use it, or, you know, I'm definitely not going to endorse it, or, you know, whatever. I'd rather just be upfront and tell the company, like, you know, no, like I appreciate the offer, but no thanks, or whatever. You know, or even just like what I just told you, like what I did with the cookie thing this week. It's just like, you know, there comes a point where it's not always just about getting free shit. If, like you said, it kind of hurts your credibility. Like, so the companies I work with now, like Wicked Cuts and like, you know, these companies, it's like I eat the shit out of that jerky, and I like Branch Warren and so on. And it's like, so I don't ever want to promote stuff or like lie to people and say I'm using this if I'm not using the product. So, you know, I turn down stuff here and there.
Sorry, dude. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, you got to be selective. Like it's going to hurt your brand overall if you're not being authentic with it. Just goes back to the authenticity aspect of it, you know.
Well, and it goes back. I mean, it's kind of the same, but a little bit different. And again, with you guys starting your own brand, I'm sure you're going to get tons of it. And we've talked about it before. It's like you get the people that want to be a part of your company, or and they're like, hey, you know, send me this, or I like to be an ambassador for you, or a sponsored athlete. And it's like, the first question for me is always like, oh, have you tried any of the products? And they're like, no. Like that's still to this day, you get that a lot, and it blows my mind, because it's like, well, how the hell do you even know you like the products? Right, like right. You're so, like, some people are so worried about putting something in their Instagram bio, like they'll do anything to just get free shit and promote something. And I understand that everybody wants to be a part of something, which is cool. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, it's like, you know what I mean? You have to know you're going to stand behind that, and you have to know about the products and so on. And like we even, when we started that demo crew for Action Sledge, on like, you have to fill out an application, and people, one of the questions is like, have you used any of the Action Sledge products? You know, if so, which ones? And several people, I mean, I'm glad like people were being honest, but there were several people that said like no, and then they got declined. And then people were in the Action Sledge group, like, talking shit, like, oh, I got declined because I never used the product. And it's like, you know, majority of people, like 90% of people were like, well, yeah, no shit. Like, why would you want to be part of something if you've never even tried? How do you know you like the products? Like, not every supplement company is great, or not, you know what I mean? And like, you might like a pre-workout that works great for you, and there might be something in it that makes me puke or something. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, so, but everybody wants to be a part of something. Everybody wants free shit. It's like, you know, you gotta know about stuff, and know if you even want to stand behind it, know about the company, know about the products, make sure you like them, and it's going to be something you want to promote to your friends, followers, whoever. It's like, I think a lot of people are just like off track on that, at least.
Yeah, it's an understandable thing. Like, obviously, like you were saying, everyone wants to be a part of something, but it is something that you need to come to realize, like, you can't just be endorsing every product. Like, if your end goal is to create a following and create a brand for yourself, like you have to install some integrity and some trust, that people can trust that you're endorsing a product that you actually believe in.
Yeah, and all of this, what we're speaking about, goes back to everything we said at the beginning of this podcast. It's kind of like just being like a real person and being honest with people goes a lot further than just trying to be something and push products on people. So
Yeah. All right, let's see what else we got here. Mental 20. Favorite Cyndi Lauper song to twerk to? I don't know if that's an inside joke, but Cyndi Lauper's kind of out of left field right there. But
yeah, dude, I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of a weird question. Well, I don't think I know any Cyndi Lauper song except "Girls Just Want to Have Fun." So I don't.
we'll say that one then. We'll
There
say
you
that
go.
one.
That's
Boom.
a good one.
Easy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that'd be the only. I'd have to like look up songs. I don't know,
I
but
fucking
I don't-
bought that in my car on the way home. Honestly,
Yeah.
That's a good
That's
song.
not on the gym playlist for sure, right there.
I was just gonna say I'll go on record saying there's no Cyndi Lauper on my gym playlist at all.
I mean, we're not gonna judge you, Dean, if that's on your list. Like, hey, it's 2020, dude. We
Hey, you.
understand.
I'm sure you've seen me bump the Hanson onto my stories.
Bro, is Hanson still a thing?
Dude, I don't know, but I put that in my stories all the time to fuck with people.
Bro, I bet they're still a thing. I bet they're touring right now, making.
I don't know. I know they're a lot older, that's for sure, than they were back in the day.
Yeah,
Still got it.
Maybe they're cooler now. I remember not liking them back then. Let's see. We got some about your looks. We'll pass on those. Those might make you a little uncomfortable. There's actually quite a few about your looks, Dean.
Good or bad? What do you mean?
I don't know. Well, this one's why is he so goddamn handsome?
Hey,
So hey,
hey,
apparently this Eric guy really likes you, dude.
That's got to be another spam.
No, that's not a real question right there.
Yeah.
You wrote these in yourself, Dean.
why is he
Yeah.
so handsome? Also, peep our profile. You're like, God damn it. You're like,
Oh, here's a one. So, well, I don't think this is a serious question because obviously, which diet do you use, steak or broccoli? So I think it's a pretty obvious one.
Steak or broccoli.
You're obviously on the broccoli diet.
Yeah, of course. I'm straight vegan.
Vegan.
yeah.
Keto vegan with intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do. Gets the best results.
Yeah. Dude, what do you think about that? Like, that's a hot button topic. Like, there's like two schools of thought going on right now. It seems like across like social media and like the well, not necessarily bodybuilding, but just like the fitness community in general. It's like you got all these people turning vegan, and then you got all these people turning carnivore. It's like,
Yeah.
and there's no fucking in between anymore. It seems like.
No, and it's fun. Like the carnivore one, I've just seen a lot the last like couple of weeks, and a guy just messaged me about that, like asking my opinion. And I'm like, I told him flat out, I'm like, I can't really speak on it. I don't know. I don't really know. I mean, I know it's like all meat and shit, but I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of it and what you're allowed to eat and what you're not. So I just told him, I said, I don't know. I said, I know it's popular, but I don't really know anything about it. Yeah, I don't know, dude. It's
red
like,
meat, right?
It's just red meat, salt, and water.
Straight red meat.
yeah, there's like no vegetables even or nothing, right?
Yeah, well,
No, none.
supposedly the belief is that vegetables are actually not good for you.
Yeah, I
It's
guess
like-
the whole belief behind the carnivore is that certain vegetables actually inflame the immune system, and then also that there's a bunch of false research about fiber and the importance of fiber in your diet, and that you actually don't need fiber in your diet. So I don't know. Supposedly, when you go carnivore, the first like week is like just straight like
Diarrhea.
mud city in the
Yeah.
toilet. But then after the first week, apparently you go back to a normal shits.
Yeah.
But I don't,
You were doing the vertical diet for a long time, weren't you?
yeah, I'm still doing the vertical.
You still doing it? Yeah, you know Joel Dirks, don't you?
Yeah, I know Joel.
Yeah, he does that a lot. I know he's pretty much. I mean, he eats like pizza and shit a lot too. But
Well, yeah, like I like this weekend I had fucking Reese's and bullshit like that,
Yeah.
and donuts, and it's like I do vertical probably 90% of 85% of the time, 90% of the time. But yeah, like Stan, like I trust Stan, and that goes back to the trust, right? Like I've met Stan, number of times. I talked to him in the DMs, and he's a good fucking dude, and I trust him, and I know he's smart, and
yeah,
he looks the part, and so it's like fuck yeah, I believe what you're selling me, even though you're not selling me, you're just.
I've never met him, but I've watched a lot of his stuff and seen that, and I know he's very well respected and all that. So, but I've never heard anything bad like about the vertical. I know a lot of people love it, especially like strongman type people and power lifters and stuff. I know that's probably like one of the most optimal diets there is probably. But yeah, it's like keto, like keto. Like, I know so many people around here too that it's like everybody jumps on this keto thing, which again, like I don't think there's any bad diet if you can stick to it. I mean, everybody has their own thing. So I don't really try to like, if keto works for you, great. Like if intermittent fasting is good for you, great. But it's like, I think the problem is like a lot of these diets, I don't want to just call them fad diets, but it's like for the mass majority of people, and let's just say not even like fitness people, but just like people that I even see local, like on Facebook that I'm friends with, they're jumping on these because they want to lose weight. And it's like, well, I'm doing keto. And then like a month later, they're already off keto because they can't do it.
And then they're on carnivore. And then they're like, now I'm going vegan and I feel so much better. It's like, well, shit, dude. Like, if you stick to anything long enough, you're going to feel fine. Your body's going to acclimate and you're going to feel good.
People are just so scared of carbs, but it's like, what are you doing? First of all, what's a day in the life look for you? Like, are you even fucking utilizing your carbs? Do you even know what the fuck carbs do? Like, are you working out at all? Like, what kind of training are you doing? Like, how are you eating before you even started this? And then people go on these structured diets and they get results or maybe, depending on like what it is. And it's like, yeah, well, no matter what it is, you're probably going to get some kind of results, whether it's a vegetarian, a vegan diet, a carnivore diet, because you went on some kind of a caloric deficit or you went on some kind of a fucking structured diet. Why don't you just do that with a regular diet? And just, you know what I'm saying? But people don't do, but it's like this is the untalked about, like the unspoken, like how were you eating? How was your life before you went on a vegan diet? You know what I'm saying? Or like you have all these like, I mean, a big one I think we talked about when that documentary was around is you have like a lot of bodybuilders, some that don't really talk about it, but a lot of these people that haven't been vegan very long, but they're kind of like almost like insinuating that they have been. They're like, oh, I'm vegan now. And it's like, but they don't talk about maybe drug use or like something like that. They don't talk about things like that. And everybody's like, well, look at this guy. Look what this guy can do. And he's vegan. It's like, you need to just educate yourself, motherfucker. Like that's not, I don't know. It's just. Well,
it's so true what you said. It's like people will go on keto and they're like in the first like 2 weeks, they're like, oh, I lost this much weight already. It's great. And it's like, like you said, it's like, well, no shit, dude. You're in a calorie deficit. Of course you're.
Yeah. Or you're not eating fucking carbs and your body lost like 20 pounds of water. Dude.
Yeah.
Like,
ton of water too. It's like people don't, like you said, they're just not educated. It's like,
yeah. And that's the big thing. What we talked about is everybody wants that. I think it's fair. I think if you're like really serious with this shit, especially if you're competing, I think everybody should have a coach. You know what I mean? Or another set of eyes, at least another set of eyes on them, but everybody just wants the information just now, like given to them. They don't really want to take the time to learn for themselves. Or well,
it's also like there's so many like keywords and buzzwords out there nowadays, and like the vegan and the carnivore, and it's like this is the saving grace diet, or this is a terrible diet to go on. Like I remember when the vertical first came out, like everyone was like, "Oh, that's terrible! You're eating meat, or you're eating steak daily, like every meal's steak." It's like, no, if you actually look at the vertical diet, it's not steak every meal. Like you're just taking the broad strokes of it and you're throwing that out there because that's the buzzword. Oh, steak every meal. Or same with the carnivore. It's like you're only eating steak. Like that's terrible for you. It's like, well, look at the diet as a whole and look at the purpose of the diet. And I don't know. It's people don't do their research. They just look at the headlines.
Well, and Stan had a really nice video too. I remember when you first were doing that, a video randomly came up on my YouTube. I was just watching stuff on YouTube, just fucking off one day, and a video came up, like a really long, in-depth one with Stan talking about it and really going really in depth about like why he does this and what people are usually lacking, and people do these contest preps where they're especially like a lot of bikini figure competitors where they're just eating, like their calories are just in the dirt and it's like crazy, and they get on stage and they're flat, or they have just super flat, and he actually like breaks it all down. And it's like, and it's not boring. Like I was actually like in like the whole, it's a long video, and I was like, oh wow, like this is like, he actually like tells you, like why steak versus maybe chicken, or like stuff like, just
But nobody wants to sit through that hour for the most part. Like, how many
Yeah.
people are actually going to watch that and see?
Oh, not many. Yeah.
But it's the same with like the carnivore. Like I like Mark Bell, he's cool, and I like Joe Rogan. I respect both of them. But like they're preaching that Joe Rogan not so much, but Mark and some of the other guys they're preaching like this is like the best diet. Like this is so beneficial, and it's like yeah, you're gonna get some benefits out of that, but like everyone's different. Like some people aren't gonna see benefit from that. Same with the vegan. Like if you want to go vegan, cool, that's on you, but don't preach that that's the best fucking diet in the world, like, because it's not.
Right. Right. Well, the examples they were using in the documentary, they're like, look at everyone's artery or these clogged arteries or whatever. These people with clogged arteries, and it's like, well, how was he eating before he did
Yeah,
this?
he was eating a bunch of my cookie dealer cookies every fucking
bro.
meal, and
I'm gonna order one of those.
and no
dude.
water.
I think I'm sold. I think you sold me without selling me. I think I'm gonna buy one.
You got to wait till after the Arnold, though, dude, because we got to get shredded for the Arnold.
Been trying, man. Doing. Actually, I'm actually getting a little leaner right now.
Yeah, but like you said, I think like there's nothing like people can get shredded with like a balanced diet. There's like nobody wants to eat like in a little bit of a calorie deficit. You can still eat plenty of carbs, dude, and you could eat whatever. Eat a little bit of everything. That's my thing. I mean, me personally, like I've tried to do. I think in 2017 I won't even say I did keto. I did like a kind of keto where I ate keto. And I only did it, I think, for like 7 or 8 weeks, and then I was like, "Fuck this!" But I would kind of do straight keto, like Monday through Friday, and then I would eat carbs like on Saturday, and kind of replenish glycogen, I guess. And then I would go back to doing keto. I might have a little bit of carbs on Sunday, but then Monday through Friday again, I'd be like straight keto, like no carbs. And I did that for a while, and I don't know if there was much of a benefit or not. Like, it's not like I got any leaner than I done in like all my show preps where I'm eating tons of carbs. Like, what I mean? Right. It's just like, I think you can eat a balanced diet, enjoy some carbs, and still, people just don't want to stop eating so much. That's a problem. Like everybody.
Yeah. Exactly right. And the thing is too, I've seen people, I've had friends back in the day that have gotten insane results on just a straight up, not even really necessarily like watching it was just just an if it fits in your macros sort of shit, but like to the extreme, like just kind of eating whatever their calorie intake was for the day. That's kind of just what they went off of, and just being in a deficit, and they just exercise, train smart, and just
The important thing about that is the consistency aspect of it, and giving it some time, and also realizing that everyone's fucking different. Everyone's gonna have a different. You got to try a bunch of different things to figure out what actually works for you. You can't just go off of what works for like you or you. Like you have to figure out. You have to try a bunch of things and see. And I think people fail to realize that.
Do any of you guys like because I get this every now and then. I mean, not a ton, but I've had numerous people whether they'll DM me, whether it's like Facebook or Instagram, and they're like, "Hey, what are your macros?" I'm like, "What does it matter? Like whatever my are, it's not going to do anything for you.
That's
like
work for you, bro. Yeah."
Yeah, it's like everybody, like just going off of what James just said, it's like, dude, everybody's different. Like we have two completely different bodies, probably different height, different weight, work out differently. It's like, dude, whatever my macros aren't going to do shit for you. You need to find your own, it's like
different genetics. You've been training for an X amount longer. Like, it's wild.
I think, and people just don't want to suffer like in regards to like, cause I don't know how many times I've seen like people still in this day and age, I don't know if they just don't know, like people ask, or they think you can like spot reduce fat, right? Like I always see people say like, hey, what are some tips for the lower back and love handles? I've seen that like 100 times. And majority of people will respond and be like, you can't spot reduce, man. It's like, you got to get leaner. You're just,
you're just fucking fat.
You just got to put a little of that sweet sweat on there, baby. That's it.
You're just, and that's not even saying it to be mean. It's just like, dude, you're too fat still. It's like, sometimes I get out of shape. I have love handles. It's like, you're just not lean enough. And like, people don't realize like the leaner you get. And I always tell everybody, especially for males, at least in my experience, it's like, us as guys, that's typically where we tend to hold the fat is in the love handles, lower back and shit. And I know, and I'm sure if you prepped, it's like I've done 6 shows. it's literally the very last thing to go on me. Like I'm fighting it and stressed out literally until the like week of my show. Like wait, yeah, because then I got like some loose skin. I got some still like little back fat. It feels like, and it's like I try to tell people that, especially if they just never competed. I'm like, dude, it's the last place for it to go, and you just gotta, wait till the end there.
Yeah. I'm the worst. I hold all my water and all my fat in my love handles and around that waist, and like it's like you were saying, like the last show I did, like the last 2 weeks, I was like, dude, I'm still so fucking fat. Look at these damn love handles. Like I'm just not lean enough, you know?
Yeah,
people don't realize that. Like, oh.
Dude, and even like I'm stressed out literally until like 2 days, and then
yeah, big time.
And then I'll take like a diazide and fucking pull some water.
Yeah. That's what you need to do for Arnold, dude. That's what you need to do with Wes. You need to hit some diazide.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I do. I like to do that before I go on a binger and just drink a bunch. I take some diazide and get fucked up. Just kidding, everyone. Don't do that. We talked about that before.
Don't follow Wes's.
Do not follow the Fuckboy Fitness ebook. Actually, yes. I
no, don't follow that because that's gonna kill you.
Fair enough.
Let's see what else we got out here. But going back to that, like the same with the this is actually one of the next questions. But playing off of that is the diet aspect goes into how hard you actually fucking train too. Like, and we were talking about this on a couple podcasts ago. It's like some people just like hop on Instagram and they see these dudes just knocking out like a quick pump workout, no sweat, no nothing, and they just assume that that's how everyone gets to be jacked and big and strong. It's like, no, you actually got to put some fucking working in the gym. Like, it's not a 20-minute, curling the 20s kind of thing. Like, you actually have to put some intensity in the gym.
Well, and a lot of people too just get to a point where they have a physique, they have a certain look, and then it just kind of then they can kind of get away with certain shit
then you
because
can
it's maintenance work. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, in order to get, because I mean, there were times when I was 19, 20, 21, and I was like, damn, I was doing some pretty intense shit for me, like the way that I was training, and I still train hard, but like not like how I did before. It's just different what I put my body through to kind of put on the muscle that I did. So it's just like, it's different.
What are your workouts like, Dean?
They're pretty good, dude. I mean, time wise, I lift pretty much every day for time wise, they're about an hour long. But I mean, I lift pretty heavy, dude.
Are you doing a lot of supersets and stuff?
I do some supersets. I don't really do drop sets. I always want to, I don't know why. I never mix in like drop sets much, but I do some superset stuff. I lift. My rep range is usually, my rep range will vary too. Like that's another thing you'll see question where people ask, to go with low reps or go with high reps. And it's like me personally, I do both, like sometimes even in the same workout. So a lot of times I'll pyramid weights up. So, if I'm even doing chest, let's say I'm doing dumbbell, like incline press, I may start with shit like a first set might be 15 reps even, but then my last set might be 6 or 7 or, whatever. Yeah. So I usually, so I lift heavy enough where I'm still struggling, obviously. But it's pretty good. But another thing for me, it's like too, which is eye opening sometimes, is like, I love working out with other people, and seeing like their intensity, because also for me, and I think, sometimes people, and I'm sure I'm not the only one though, you'll start to get complacent sometimes. I know I do. And even though you might think you're still lifting pretty hard or whatever, then I'll go work out with somebody else. And you're like, holy fuck, dude, I've been lifting like a pussy for a while.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like remotivates you and kickstarts you again. Like that's happened to me a lot of times where I've worked out with, people in this industry that are bigger than me and stronger and like push me. And I'm just like, Jesus, dude, what the fuck? And when I work out with them, I'll push way more weight, for me anyways, I'll push way more weight than normal. And I'm like, oh, I can do this shit. Like, why aren't I doing this on a normal basis? So right. I think that's a good wake-up call for people also. It's like, I think a lot of people, like you said, they are just going through the motions a lot. I know in my gym, dude, there's people in there I see all the time that are curling so light. There's a girl in there that talks to my wife all the time, and she'll literally be head turned, having a full conversation while she's doing curling. Like there's like zero intensity.
Yeah.
She hasn't changed in 3 years.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, it's like, that's why it's like, you have to like push yourself, you know. I mean, because there comes a point too where you're in the gym, and if you're just going there and going through the motions, yeah, I'd say it's better than sitting at home on the couch. But at the same point, it's like if you're going there and you're at the gym for an hour, like if you're not pushing yourself, you're just wasting your time though in a way. You know, it's like don't you want to progress a little bit? It's like
Yeah, you might as well just stay home. Honestly, to be completely honest, like, yeah, it's wild because I think that's a huge, like, the diet thing. I feel like a lot of people are a little bit more educated. Like, you know, especially nowadays, people are more educated. Like, yeah, you need the protein, you need the carbs, you need the fat, and like, I think generally people understand a little bit more about diet than they did maybe like 20 years ago. But I think the training thing has almost kind of reversed itself. I feel like people like are almost trying to out science training now, and they're like trying to dive too far into like, you know, well, like the optimum rest time and the, you know, it's like at the end of the day, you actually just have to fucking put in some work and you have to sweat and, and hurt a little bit. You know, it's not supposed to be a glorious and like easy process.
Yeah, I think like I agree with you. I think I think social media has caused a lot of that too. Like some people are getting too fancy with shit, all like tons of different band work. And I mean, if you're advanced or some, you know, if somebody like, because I know you do a lot of like powerlifting movements and stuff like that and strength stuff and all that. So somebody like you, if I see you doing like some band work, I'm like, I know that you know what you're doing. Yeah. But then you see, I think a lot of people that don't know what they're doing, but they see somebody on Instagram doing that. Now they're in the gym and they're hooking bands all over the hack squat. And you know what I mean? It's like when they don't even have like the basics down yet. I think a lot of people do that. And that I think that's a problem too. And then, like you said, I think people overcomplicate everything too. Like for years and years, like Arnold and, you know, like Dorian Yates, like those guys stuck to like the basics and they all are Mr. Olympias, you know, type guys. And I think we've gotten so far away from that. And it's like, or people just overcomplicate stuff as well. It's like, should I do this or should I do that? And it's like, do both. Like, why not do both or whatever you're getting, you know, whatever your question is, it's like, do it all. I think people overthink everything too nowadays, which is a big problem.
Yeah. And a big thing too is like, I'll see a lot of guys nowadays and they're like new to training and they're maybe they've only been training for like a year, maybe two. And they're trying to do all these outlandish fucking exercises. And it's like, dude, you haven't been training long enough for that to actually really fucking matter. Like, you could get much more of a, you know, you'll see people squatting on Bosu balls or some bullshit with some bands. And it's like, dude, if you just did a normal squat for the next 2 years, you'd see way more gains than you're going to see with your fucking Instagram, like, viral video of you squatting on a Bosu ball or some bullshit.
Yeah. And that's how I have to end up getting injured too, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, the basics, they're definitely, you know, falling to the wayside. I think for the majority of people, it's like, you know, just like, what should I do? I get that all the time. It's like, what should I do to build my legs? It's like, dude, all you have to really fucking do is do some squats, do some lunges, do some leg press, some leg extension, leg curl. That's all you. If you just did those 5 fucking things for the next 4 years, you'll be good. You don't have to like try to overcomplicate things.
Yeah.
But that's, you know, that's boring, and people don't want to stick with that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. People overcomplicate everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of information out there for sure.
There's almost too much information, I think, because people overthink it and then they don't end up doing anything.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy. It's like a catch-22 because like what we were talking about the diet, it's like with like dieting and nutrition and stuff like that, it's like you want to tell people like, hey man, like, you know, somebody could come up to me and be like, hey, what are your thoughts on keto? And I could be like, well, I could tell you what it is, but I've never personally done it. So I can't tell you like what it would do to me or what it would do to you. So maybe try it for 2 weeks. See what, you know what I mean? Maybe try it for a few weeks and see how it, you know, maybe you'll love it, you know, sort of thing. Whereas like with training, I just fucking like went blank there for a second. Maybe like with training, you know, kind of the same thing. Like there's so much information out there to a point where it's like you want to tell somebody to just kind of like try that, maybe try this program, see how you like it. But at the same time, if it's a shitty program or something like that, or it's like something, you know, you don't want somebody to get injured. You don't want to be like somebody to get injured. So you're like, oh fuck, I told that guy to do this, and it was actually like a terrible. It was like I don't know. So there's that kind of that fine line. I don't know, but
yeah.
Well. Dude, we've been going for a while here. I know it's a busy Sunday for you. Let's end on this last one actually right here because I think this is actually a good one for some people. And basically, it's from John Wilson, and he's talking about how you're super active on social media. Are there times you just want to step away and disappear? Like do you ever kind of like take a break from social media? It's a tough one, especially for me. Like I definitely fall into the addiction aspect of that.
I know Tracy would like me to step away sometimes, but no, I mean, I don't really like, I mean, sometimes I do, man. And I mean, I don't step away for like days at a time or even really like a day. Like I'm on every day, obviously doing something, but, there are a lot of times where if I'm going to go do something with the kids or family or whatever, I mean, sometimes I just leave my phone, period. So, because like you said, it as sad as it is to say, it's like an addiction. So it's like, I don't want to be out at dinner or something or wherever. And I'm like on my phone doing shit. And, I don't want to be that person or that dad and, like ignoring my kids for something on like Instagram or something like that. So, it does, I mean, it does sometimes feel like almost like a second job because you're so, being so active, on Instagram. Plus, obviously, like I do a lot of stuff in those 2 Facebook groups as well. So like I'm back and forth a lot. So sometimes it becomes overwhelming. Plus I got my job, my business that I run, which is that alone sometimes is overwhelming if I'm super busy. And then obviously the kids and like sports and school and all that shit. So, I mean, sometimes it's overwhelming. It's hard to juggle a lot of it sometimes at once. But as far as like taking breaks, I mean, just here and there, I mean, I'll make sure I put my phone away or put it down and spend some quality time or whatever.
I think that's important. You definitely almost have to like leave it in the car or leave it at home because I'll find myself doing that. Like I'll find myself like if there's like a moment of like downtime, I'll find myself just like as like a habit or like I don't know if it's like a safety thing. It's like I just pick it up, like pick it up and I start scrolling and then next second I know I lost 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, dude, you go down the rabbit hole, man. It's like you do. It's like I'm as guilty, dude, as anybody. I do it all the time, but I totally agree with you. It's like I'll get on something in like 10 minutes. I mean, sometimes I'm on it for like a half hour and I'm like, fuck, I just wasted a half hour. Just like scrolling through Instagram, like leaving comments or looking through people's shit or whatever, answering questions, whatever. I'm like, there was a half hour of my day. I could have been doing something else,
It's a fucking time warp, dude. You lost that 30 minutes and you don't even know where it went.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, well, and it's like YouTube sometimes gets me as well. I'm sure, I don't know about you guys, like, and it's not like I'm even doing anything on YouTube, but there's times where I'll like start like watching videos. Like you said, something else. I get done with one video and like some couple others scroll up and I'm like, oh, what's this one? I watch, and like they'll be on YouTube sometimes for like 2 hours. And I'm like, holy shit. What's
easy. I'm so guilty of that. My screen time's been going up like every week. I'm like, fuck.
My screen time actually went down by 11%.
Hey.
We can tell. We can tell by how active you are on social media. Jay.
Yeah.
It's all good, man. That's mine went up 16%. So I was,
How do you actually real quick like since you do have some like teenage-ish daughters, how are you with them in their social media? Like, are they allowed to have social media or like what's that look like?
Yeah, so my 2 oldest are 15 and 13, and my 15-year-old, she doesn't have anything. They're on like TikTok and that shit, but she was on Instagram, and then we just took it down and because nothing she was doing, but she was starting to get, I'd go on her Instagram and look at her DMs, and she was starting to get some like boys in there, and then
some dick pics and shit.
No, thank God there was none of that, but just guys.
fuck.
Dean would have had to go kill somebody.
Yeah, I forgot what it was. Some guy had said something to her. It's like somebody at her school, and I actually literally wrote back to the kid. I said I forgot what I said, but I don't know if I said what the fuck you or I said something, and like Tracy yelled at me. Oh, I think somebody had her. Somebody else posted her on Snapchat. That's what it was. This was Snapchat, and some dude had a picture of her, and I literally wrote back to the kid, and I go, "Why the fuck is my daughter on your Snapchat?"
oh man, I would have shit my pants.
I would have been like,
I know.
Tracy got so mad at me. She's like, dude, you can't be swearing at these little kids. And I'm like, fuck that, I can't. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like,
I'm gonna beat his ass.
yeah, I'm like,
I'm gonna find him.
I'm like, what's he gonna, he can send his dad over and I'll talk to him then. I'm like, I don't give a shit. So,
Dude.
but she's not on like Instagram, and then my other one is on Instagram, but there's nothing. I monitor the shit. Let's say that.
You need to be like that.
Well,
one.
I think you need to a certain extent, especially with so many fucking weirdos.
Oh yeah, there's so.
Yeah, and they have pride. Like she has, well, they both did. They still do, but the one doesn't even have Instagram anymore. But the one that does, their account is, I made sure, is set on private and all that type of shit. So,
Yeah.
But still, that doesn't stop some of the little shits, at their school and shit. So,
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh man, dude, that I don't envy you in having daughters. I could only imagine. I would lose my shit if some kid slid in the DMs and said some weird shit.
I'd probably go to jail. I'd probably fight a 15-year-old kid. I'd probably beat some 15-year-old kid's ass. You know what? That reminds me of. I was gonna say you need to be like that one, that picture of that daughter and that father that like went viral of like the with the shirt. You know what I'm talking about? Yep.
Yeah.
You need to do that.
Yeah.
That's so funny. It's like a picture of a girl wearing a shirt, and it's like her dad, like without his shirt. I think he's like not wearing a shirt, and he's all tatted and like shit like that. And she's like, "Before you try to hit on me or something like that, this is my dad," or like something like that.
Just a pic of you like fucking lifting some hundreds or something.
Yeah, just all stacked, all veiny.
It is funny though because well now that my oldest daughter's in 9th grade, and then the other one is in 7th grade or whatever. But even last year obviously they were in 6th and 8th. They were in middle school, and like a lot of their friends actually follow me, which is pretty funny. So that there'd be times where they would come home even last year in middle school, and they're like, "Oh, everybody had your Instagram up in class today," and whatever, and they were like talking about me and stuff. So a lot of them at least know kind of who I am. So I mean, hopefully that detours some of those.
As they get older, hopefully the boys keep that in their head.
Yeah, at least filters some of those comments and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully. So
it's all good, man. Yeah, it just comes with it. It's unfortunate. I think about that if I had daughters, man.
Yeah,
Fuck.
it's a wild.
Luckily, I have a son, so
No, he's gonna be the one sliding in DM.
Yeah.
no bullshit. I'm gonna teach him to be respectful because I'm gonna whoop his ass if he's disrespectful to women.
Yeah.
I tell you what.
Good boy.
That's the politically correct answer right there.
That's a good boy. My
son's not gonna be a slime ball.
Right on. All right, Dean. Well, you want to drop your social media for everybody just in case they're not.
Yeah, it's just my name, so it's at Dean Perrone. It's DeanPerrone.
I just followed you right now, dude. Just threw you fuckboy fitness.
and you're going to be at the Arnold at the.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there all 3 days. I'll be at the booth Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We have a huge booth, man. I think we have the biggest booth that they offer. It's 20 by 60.
Fuck
Shit,
yeah, that's
dude.
dope, man.
Yeah, it's huge.
Hopefully that helps, spark. Are they going to start trying to go to more expos, do you think?
I don't know, man. We actually, we were supposed to do the Olympia, and they kind of pulled the plug like 2 weeks prior just because, I don't know. I don't think they wanted to go out there and spend the money and all that. Plus,
The Olympia sucks, dude.
The Olympia sucks, and people don't buy there. Like, at the Arnold, you've been at the Arnold, obviously. Yeah. The Arnold, like, everybody buys, man. People come with money to spend, and everybody buys at the Arnold. Every time I've been at the Olympia, nobody buys shit. It's like it's like being at some other weird expo where people are just there, like, looking. Like, that's what the Olympia feels like to me the last couple times I've been there. Yeah. It's just shitty, and I feel like it's getting smaller and smaller every year. I actually, honestly, me personally, I know you've been to these too. I like the LA Fit Expo better than the Olympia.
Oh, 100%. Like, I didn't even go to the Olympia last year. Like, and I'm glad I didn't because people were like, "Yeah, dude, it's even worse than the year before." No, I'd much rather go to the LA Fit. We were just down there a couple weeks ago. It's LA Fit's fun, and the Arnold is so much fun. I'm actually interested in seeing how the Olympia does now that The Rock has his little fitness expo going on in October or something.
Yeah, that's going to be huge. We actually, I don't know if we're doing that for sure. I know they were going to look into that. They didn't. When I was just up there, we were talking about that, like the Rock's one. So, and they didn't really have much info on it yet. but we could possibly maybe be at that too. I hope. That'd be cool to go to. So I hope we do it if we're able to. But
that's down near you, actually, down in Atlanta. I think they're doing it.
Where is it going to be? Oh, Atlanta. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Atlanta. Yep.
So,
but yeah, I'll be at the Arnold, man. I'll see you guys there. I can't wait.
Nice, dude. We'll have to try to link up. I know you're going to be busy, but maybe we get some food or something.
Yeah, I think I have to talk to them. They haven't booked my flight and all that yet, but I'm assuming I'm coming in Thursday morning, and then I'll probably leave fly out Sunday night or something like that. I guess. So
we're flying in Thursday night, and I think we're actually leaving Tuesday morning for some. It was the cheapest flight actually coming back on Tuesday, so we'll spend an extra fucking day there doing who knows.
Getting
huge at the gym.
Yeah,
right on, dude. Well, we'll see you at the Arnold, and I think this was good, man. Making another run at trying to get guest of the year 2020 here, huh?
Yeah, dude. Love it.
Right on, dude.
It was nice to meet you, man. I'll see you in Ohio.
Yeah, I'll see you guys there, and thank you again, man, for having me on. Always a blast coming on here and shooting the shit with you guys for sure.
Right on, dude. Keep doing big things.
Always, brother. All right, I'll see you guys soon.
Later,
bro.
All right, see you guys.